give it to Bird, man. He started that stunt.
You know I started that stunt.
But guess what? I was uptown too, and I started that.
Master P just switched up his whole career path, and the move caught people off guard. This is the same man who came from nothing, stacked a $480 million empire, moved over 100 million records, and still ended up staring bankruptcy in the face. Everybody thought his retirement was just him stepping back to chill, but his new interview shows something way deeper. He's finally opening up about the pressure, the cracks in his empire, the family heartbreak, and the smoke he had to walk through. By the time Y2K rolled around, Master P was living a dream most people couldn't even imagine.
It was a perfect
It was the
rebuttal.
perfect.
rebuttal.
Yeah.
Like right there watching y'all, and I heard him, and then when you came out after the song ended and said it, I thought to myself, because I could see the crowd go bout it. They went crazy.
Yeah.
But behind all the shiny plaques and those famous tank logos, things were getting shaky. The same hustle that made No Limit legendary, dropping albums non-stop, was starting to wear thin. Fans were getting tired, and the streets could feel the momentum slipping. Then there were the retirement threats he kept throwing out there. Fans didn't know if they should stay locked in or let go, because he always hinted he might bounce any minute. And the mix between raw street music and those more family-friendly plays, like putting his son Lil Romeo front and center, created this weird identity split. People didn't know what lane No Limit was really riding in anymore. And then the legal problems started stacking up. The No Limit roster that once felt like a tight brotherhood began falling apart. Artists left, lawsuits piled high, and by 2003, No Limit Records hit bankruptcy. It was a wild crash for a label that had been one of the biggest forces in music just a few years earlier. But even with all the business chaos, none of it compared to the pain Master P was taking on at home.
Man, remind me of like one of my uncles that they just gonna say whatever.
Yeah.
That's just a New Orleans thing.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I ain't really take it, but I'm like,
Yeah.
bro, I've been out here already. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You started that,
Yeah.
or the name of that stunting, but me
Yeah.
for his body, this is what I started. And I,
Yeah.
we come from uptown, Third Ward, Cali, They come from the Magnolia, and that's.
Losing money hurts, but losing family hits a whole different level. And P got hit with heartbreak that no amount of success could protect him from. The pain started young, with the 1990 unaliving of his brother Kevin, something that stayed with him forever. But that wasn't the end of it. His brother Corey Miller, known in the streets as C Murder, got locked up in 2002 for a homicide case that Master P has challenged for more than 20 years. Watching his own brother sit behind bars while he was rising to the top weighed on him heavy. That kind of pressure and guilt is something only a few people will ever understand. Master P never stopped fighting for C Murder's freedom, and he kept pushing even harder in 2020 when he helped organize protests that brought the case into the national spotlight. But then May 2022 delivered a heartbreak nobody could prepare for. His daughter, Tatiana Miller, passed at just 29 from an accidental fentanyl overdose after battling addiction and mental health struggles behind closed doors. These are battles that hit families everywhere, rich or broke, but the weight gets even heavier when the world watches every move you make. Instead of shutting down, Master P faced the tragedy head on and spoke openly about it, pushing the message that mental illness and substance abuse is a real issue that we can't be afraid to talk about.
Actually, I didn't know it till late.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, to each his own. Maybe he had a point to where, he felt like he did enough. And I remember this in the beginning, it's actually like the second retirement. I think he retired semi after the last done in the beginning.
Yeah.
And came back. So you never know what's going on with people personally or what's the reason for the season.
Yeah.
So, it is what it is. Salute P, I always did from the gate.
By 2025, he was reflecting on healing, honoring Tatiana, and rebuilding connections, especially with his son, Romeo Miller, as he focused on better communication and stronger family unity. He wanted peace in his house just as much as he wanted justice for his brother. But the pressure didn't stop there. His marriage of 24 years fell apart, and he later revealed that he'd been hiding a lot of the problems behind the scenes just to keep up the picture-perfect image fame demands. The spotlight might bring success, but it can destroy the parts of your life that matter most if you're not careful. And while Master P was juggling pain at home, another storm had been brewing for decades. His long, complicated tension with Brian Birdman Williams and Cash Money Records wasn't your regular rap beef at all. It ran much deeper. This was rooted in old New Orleans history, in the streets where both of these bosses built their names. Master P represented the Calliope projects in the 3rd Ward, while Birdman came up in Uptown's Magnolia and in a city where project loyalty means everything. Those different blocks created different worlds. Birdman once said, "We from 2 different projects, so it just didn't ever mix. We ain't never had no beef, but we just never vibe." Even with that calm explanation, the streets believed there was way more to it. Things got even darker when Birdman's brother, Terrence "Gangsta" Williams, who had been linked to a long list of serious cases, was accused of taking the life of Master P's cousin, Randall Calliope Slim Watts. Williams denied it, but the rumor alone kept tension alive, leaving a shadow over both camps that never fully faded. The rumors surrounding old street situations and guilt by association only made the divide between Master P's circle and Birdman's camp even deeper. With Kevin's homicide already haunting P's family, the tension between both sides turned permanent, and nobody forgot who was connected to who. That energy never fully faded. Then came the business smoke. When Cash Money started taking over the late 90s with 400 Degrees and the Hot Boys, Birdman went hunting for a major distribution deal that could change everything. Priority Records, the same company that had boosted No Limit into a powerhouse, was reportedly interested. But according to Birdman, the whole deal got shut down because of something Master P allegedly told them. In a 2025 No Chill interview, he claimed Master P told Priority, "If y'all sign them, y'all can't sign nobody else from the South." That move supposedly pushed Cash Money into their Universal joint venture. Successful but filled with drama, lawsuits, and eventually Lil Wayne's heated 2015 split over royalties. Master P later brushed off those claims and said it wasn't sabotage, just real competition. He even added, "We never tried to destroy each other." The younger generation needs to take notes, making it sound like respect was still somewhere under the tension. For years, fans wanted to see these 2 New Orleans giants share a stage. And on October 25th, 2025, it finally happened. The Cash Money versus No Limit Versus at ComplexCon was marketed as a full NOLA unity moment, and the hype was huge. Snoop Dogg linked up with Master P. Juvenile was vibing next to Mia X. Everything looked like a historic reunion where old beef would fade away for good. But old energy has a way of showing up uninvited. During the battle, Birdman suddenly went on a rant about Turk not being present, then started tossing shade about people being disloyal, all while staring straight across the stage at Master P's side. The crowd caught it instantly and the room shifted. Then Master P did something nobody expected. He crossed the stage, gave Birdman a dap and a salute, like 2 veterans showing respect after decades of history. But the question lingered. Was this a real truce? Or just 2 legends keeping it grown for the cameras? After the event, Master P stayed classy and said, "I knew him from day one. We have that much respect." But people online noticed Birdman dipped fast after that moment, sparking talk that the tension is still real and he didn't want a long face-to-face. And Lil Wayne not showing up, officially blamed on tour obligations, just made the rumors louder, especially since his royalty situation with Cash Money still isn't fully clean. All that tension with Birdman just added even more shade to everything Master P had already been carrying. Through bankruptcy, family heartbreak, a long marriage falling apart, and decades of regional pressure, he still refused to slow down. Even when No Limit started collapsing, Master P was already busy building his next move, proving he wasn't the type to sit still for anything. In 2005, he and his son Romeo launched Gooder Music, then followed it with No Limit Forever in 2010, keeping the legacy alive in his own way. He switched lanes into acting too, showing up in movies like Foolish and producing the sitcom Romeo, which ran from 2003 to 2006. And when he stepped into the basketball world again, this time he wasn't trying to make an NBA roster. He was coaching and mentoring young hoopers, including AAU talent like DeMar DeRozan. His grind never stopped. Then 2013 hit and Master P secured something huge. He became the first hip-hop artist ever inducted into the Louisiana Music Hall of Fame. That moment stamped everything he'd been fighting for. But he didn't stop there. He built businesses in every lane. Uncle P's Spices, real estate through PM Properties managing over 100 units, energy drinks, even partial ownership in the House of Glory wrestling promotion. And in 2021, Lincoln University honored him with a doctorate, recognizing how he blended street smarts and academic wisdom like a true visionary. At this point, the question wasn't, can Master P survive anymore? It was, what's he planning next? Because every time he got knocked down, he came back with something nobody expected. Then July 6th, 2025 changed everything. At the Essence Festival of Culture in New Orleans, Master P walked onto that stage and announced his final performance after nearly 40 years in the game. It was emotional, powerful, and historic all at once. The No Limit Records showcase brought out Silk the Shocker, Drew Hill, Carrie Hilson, and more. Almost like a reunion mixed with a goodbye hug to an entire era. When he explained why he was stepping away, it wasn't on some sad note. He said, "I'm growing to another level. There's a lot of negative stuff going on in hip-hop, and people don't want to talk about the positive things. This wasn't retirement because he was fading. It was him leveling up and choosing a new mission that didn't revolve around charts or album sales." Young Bleed, a former No Limit soldier who held it down during the label's prime, reflected on the move and praised the shift. But the real shocker came when Percy Miller took his next step. He was appointed president of basketball operations and head coach for the University of New Orleans Privateers men's basketball team. It was a full circle moment for a man who once dreamed of the NBA before life redirected him. Under his new title, now known across the city as Coach P, he stepped into a fresh chapter with the same fire he had when he built No Limit from scratch. The whole basketball program flipped into a brand new machine under Coach P's watch. For the 2025-26 season, he brought in 13 fresh players, leveled up the entire atmosphere, and oversaw major upgrades, from a renovated locker room to a revamped practice gym and a new jumbotron lighting up Lakefront Arena. The school even reset the whole brand and locked into the LSU system, giving the program a clean new identity. But for Master P, this isn't just about wins and losses. It's about shaping young lives. He put Bible verses in the locker room, added life skills training, and built a culture where these young hoopers get guidance beyond basketball. He knows what a lot of coaches don't. These young bulls need someone who's lived real life, fought real battles, and can help them avoid the traps he survived. The season warmed up in November 2025 with an exhibition win against Sacramento State, and the first big event on October 18th had stars like Shaquille O'Neal and Mike Bibby pulling up to witness the new era in person. It was clear something special was happening. But Master P's vision stretches way past the court. He wants to boost enrollment, build community pride, and create opportunities for the youth in New Orleans. In true community-first fashion, he personally paid for 4,000 middle schoolers to come to games, planting hope and showing them what college life looks like up close. That's impact money can't measure. He even reached out to Lil Wayne and J. Cole about performing to help recruit new talent, using his music connections to shine a spotlight on a program that had been overlooked for too long. And of course, hate popped up online. Some people questioned his qualifications because he doesn't have a traditional college degree. But supporters fired back saying his business success and community roots are exactly what the program needs. Someone who can build from scratch, not just another career coach talking from a textbook. And here's where things get spicy. Remember that big retirement from music? Well, Master P bent that rule just a little. On October 25th, 2025, the same night as the Versus showdown with Cash Money, he dropped a surprise album. It wasn't a full comeback, it was Master P doing what he's always done, showing up when the moment matters. This move shows that while he's not dropping albums every year anymore, he'll still pop out from major cultural moments that shake the room. Master P never retired from relevance. He just moves smarter now and picks his moments with precision. So what does his empire look like in 2025? His net worth sits around $200 million, built through decades of smart plays that would make any business professor nod in respect. And even with all that growth, the classic No Limit catalog is still bringing in royalty checks every single year. But the real money came from spreading his hustle across different lanes. Uncle P's Spices, major real estate under PM Properties, partial ownership of the House of Glory wrestling promotion, plus investments in all kinds of consumer brands and entertainment ventures. He stacked his chips everywhere. On top of that, he served as New Orleans' entertainment ambassador, using his influence to spotlight the city that raised him and the culture he helped push worldwide. His philanthropy hits just as hard as his business moves. The P. Miller Youth Centers and his financial literacy programs focus directly on young people dealing with real-world challenges, giving them the tools he had to learn the hard way. He's passing down knowledge to make sure the next generation doesn't start at the bottom like he did. But maybe the biggest part of Master P's legacy isn't just what he built, it's who he inspired. Nipsey Hussle openly said, "No Limit shaped his whole approach to independence in the music game." That ownership mindset Master P pioneered, keeping your masters, controlling your brand, using major label resources without handing over your power, became the blueprint modern labels like Quality Control used to create their own empires. That's generational influence. Then in 2020, No Limit Chronicles dropped on BET and reintroduced a whole new generation to the wild story of how Master P built his empire from the trunk of his car into a national powerhouse. IMDb reviews praised the doc, saying Master P represented a real boss who pushed through every obstacle in his way. And the series didn't just teach history, it also brought renewed attention to C. Murder's case, proving Master P's past work still creates real-world impact today. He was ranked number 28 on BET's list of the most influential rappers, an honor that represents way more than hits or plaques. It reflects how he reshaped the entire industry's mindset on ownership, independence, and long-term power. So what really happened to Master P? He evolved, again, just like he's always done, from the projects to running a record store, from the store to building No Limit, from music to film, from film to philanthropy and sports. Every chapter of his life has been a reinvention, and 2025 is just another level unlocked. At 55 years old, Percy Robert Miller stands as living proof that reinvention ain't just possible, it's the whole blueprint for survival. The same streets that could have taken him out ended up becoming the foundation for everything he built. And the same personal losses that could have crushed him became the push for his advocacy and his mission to bring his family back together. The industry tried to box him in, but he refused to play that role. Instead, he built his own boxes, slapped his own logos on them, and sold them for profit like a true architect of his destiny. And as the No Limit Chronicles showed, Master P said it best. "If I made it out the conditions that I made it out of, then you can do it." That's the mindset of someone who turned pain into a power source. Percy Robert Miller was born on April 29, 1970, right in the Calliope housing projects of New Orleans. And if you know anything about the Calliope, you know it wasn't just rough. It was swallowed by poverty and danger every single day. This wasn't a place where trouble was rare. It was the everyday life that shaped everybody who grew up there. Young Percy was raised by his grandmother after his parents split early. And from day one, he learned survival wasn't guaranteed. You had to hustle hard if you wanted a future. He bounced around different New Orleans high schools, St. Augustine, Booker T. Washington, Warren Easton, absorbing the culture, the grind, and the dreams of a city that would one day be tied to his entire legacy. But Master P wasn't just built from the blocks. He had real basketball talent too. He played college ball at the University of Houston before making a move that would change everything. He transferred to Merritt College in Oakland to study business administration. And that detail matters heavy. While other young rappers were only focused on writing bars and chasing beats, Master P was learning the business behind the music. He was studying how money moves, how companies really work, and how to build something from nothing with pure strategy and grit. He wasn't just trying to make it in the game, he was trying to own the game. Then in 1989, tragedy hit hard when his grandfather passed away. A malpractice settlement followed, and Percy received $10,000, money that would become the seed for his entire future. And here's where he separated himself from the average young person. Most people his age would have blown those 10 bands on a new ride, fresh outfits, or fast fun that disappears just as quick as it comes. But Master P saw something else in that $10,000. He saw a chance to flip it into a whole new life. He saw the beginning of an empire waiting to be built if he played the move right. He saw a future nobody else around him could even imagine. With that $10,000 inheritance, he opened a small record store in Richmond, California, planting the very first seed of what would eventually grow into a massive empire. And this wasn't just about selling music. This was Master P learning the game from the ground up, studying what the streets were buying, what moved, what didn't, and how to position himself right where culture and money connect. But life wasn't done testing him. In 1990, his brother Kevin was killed, a loss that hit him so deep it changed the shape of his whole purpose. Instead of letting grief pull him under, he turned that pain into motivation, promising himself he would make it out the neighborhood, not just for his own survival, but for everyone he loved who was still living in danger every single day. That tragedy became fuel for his mission. By 1991, that Richmond record store had evolved into something way bigger. No Limit Records was officially born, and from day one, Master P made a decision that shocked the industry. While artists were lining up to sign deals that looked good at first but left them broke in the long run, Master P told the major labels to fall back. He wasn't giving up ownership for anybody's advance check. He understood something most artists didn't learn until it was too late. Ownership is the whole game. And even though the early releases didn't go platinum overnight, they created a strong buzz through word of mouth and street-level promotion across both the Bay Area and New Orleans. He wasn't chasing instant fame. He was building a base that could survive any industry storm. In February 1990, he dropped his first project, a cassette titled Mind of a Psychopath. It didn't blow the world open, but it made people pay attention. Then in 1991, he released his first official solo album, Getaway Clean, through In a Minute Records, marking his shift from store owner to real-deal recording artist. He was leveling up in real time. Then came TRU in 1992. Master P, C Murder, and Silk the Shocker forming a hip-hop squad built on blood, loyalty, and ambition. This wasn't just music. This was family rising together, trying to create a new lane and pull each other out of the struggle. But the move that flipped the entire industry upside down came in 1995, when Master P locked in a distribution deal with Priority Records. It was a power play nobody saw coming and would change not just his life, but the whole landscape of independent music forever. Here's where Master P's business knowledge hit a whole different level. So sharp it would make MBA professors stand up and clap. Instead of signing one of those industry standard deals where the label owns your soul and the artist walks away with crumbs, Master P pulled off something revolutionary. He kept 85% of his sales and held full ownership of his masters. That's unheard of in an industry built on taking advantage of artists, and he flipped the whole system on its head. He used Priority Records for what he needed: distribution power, nationwide reach, and store placement. But he kept the profits and control. He kept his art, his rights, and his freedom. And that move alone separated him from almost every artist in the 90s. That was a boss decision. That same year, No Limit relocated from the Bay back to New Orleans, bringing the whole machine home to the city that shaped him. With in-house producers, beats by the pound crafting that signature sound, No Limit shifted from underground grind to full-blown Southern rap dominance. The streets felt it instantly, and the industry couldn't deny it. Then 1996 came swinging hard. His fifth solo album, Ice Cream Man, went platinum, and the single Mr. Ice Cream Man climbed the charts heavy. And he wasn't done. He also directed and produced his debut film, I'm 'Bout It, made on a tiny $1.5 million budget that ended up grossing a wild $16 million. Hollywood suddenly realized this man from the projects wasn't playing by anyone's rules but his own. But 1997, that year turned Master P into a straight-up force. He dropped Ghetto D, and it went crazy, moving 760,000 copies in 1 week and passing 6.6 million worldwide. And with the hit, Make 'Em Say smashing into MTV territory and getting a Video Music Award nomination, the whole world started chanting No Limit slogans. By 1998, Master P wasn't just successful, he was running the entire landscape of hip-hop. MP Da Last Dawn debuted at #1 on the Billboard 200 and moved over 4 million copies. His movie, I Got the Hookup, pulled in $29 million worldwide off a $1.6 million budget. He signed Snoop Dogg to No Limit, turning the label into a cultural powerhouse. And as if that wasn't enough, the No Limit clothing line launched and eventually grossed $200 million by 2001. That single year, 1998, proved Master P wasn't just winning. He was rewriting the rules of success in real time, proving a kid from Calliope could outsmart the whole industry. No Limit Records ended up grossing a wild $480 million, That's almost $500 million from a man who started with nothing but 10 bands and a dream in a tiny record store in Richmond. When you sit back and really look at those numbers, it's unbelievable what this man pulled off. He flipped independent hustle into generational wealth in a way the industry had never seen before. By the early 2000s, No Limit had pushed over 100 million records worldwide, stacking bag after bag and forcing major label CEOs to rethink everything they thought they knew about the music business. His blueprint of ownership, marketing, and distribution became the model that modern independent empires like Quality Control later used to climb the charts and build their own brands. And while running a label, a film operation, and a full business empire, Master P even chased his basketball dreams. He earned preseason roster spots with the Charlotte Hornets in 1999 and the Toronto Raptors in 2000. He didn't make the final cut, but the fact he even reached that level while running multiple companies showed just how far his ambition could stretch. Master P showed the whole world that you don't need to sell your soul to sell records. You just need to play smarter, move sharper, and think bigger than everybody else. But like any empire, even the strongest ones eventually hit moments where the pressure changes. What goes up has to face gravity. And the same unstoppable drive that built No Limit was about to get tested by forces outside his control and pain he never saw coming. If you enjoyed this deep dive into Master P's journey, make sure you drop a comment, hit like, subscribe, share the video, and I'll catch you on the next one.